Is Monday, April the 7th, 2025, and you have joined Ask a Care Navigator, Mondays with Maureen. Hello, everyone. My name is Maureen Williams, and I'm the Director of Care Navigation here at Four Seasons, the Care You Trust. And we try to create this space on most Mondays to talk about issues associated with living well and aging well, and perhaps how Four Seasons may be of assistance. Thank you for joining us last week when my very special friend Coral Allman from Van Winkle Law joined us to talk about charitable giving while you're still alive. That was very helpful. And Coral is an estate planning attorney. And so we're going to cycle back through that for a few weeks here as well. As always, if you have any questions or comments, you can drop them now live or later into the comment boxes on whatever platform from which you're viewing. You can call us at 866 466 9734, or you can go to our website at fourseasonscare.org. Please spell out the number 4seasonscare.org. Well, today, since my dear friend Coral joined me last week, and she's an estate planning attorney, I thought I would continue down the track of talking about estate planning and perhaps how attorneys may be assisted by care managers or care navigators and how these two go together. Usually members of an estate planning team for you and your loved ones would be an attorney, estate planning attorney like my friend Coral or my friend Justice, whom you'll meet next Monday, an accountant, a financial advisor, and sometimes an insurance professional. What some of these estate planning attorneys and teams are finding is that adding on the services of an aging life care professional or a care navigator, as we call them here at Four Seasons, also helps to lead to the appropriate recommendations for healthcare for clients and aging adults. Aging life care professionals come from a variety of backgrounds and have a variety of skill sets that might include nursing, and like me, I'm a nurse, registered nurse, gerontology, social work, counseling, or even healthcare administration. We are generally pretty well equipped to navigate through family conflict and bring neutrality to sometimes toxic family relationships and circumstances. We understand that. And our responsibility as an aging life care professional is to make recommendations based on the client's needs, to make sure that the proper care of an older or disabled adult is provided and set in place. We have various comprehensive assessments that we utilize to make sure that a plan that assesses not only the person's health and wellness, but their mental and memory health, their social support networks, or even financial resources all come together to craft the best plan to live well and age well, to make sure it matches the reality of the client situation at home. So we start first looking for resources. What resources exist out there to meet your needs or your perceived or anticipated needs? We help families sort through this because the resources in our communities change so quickly. And we tend to, as care managers or care navigators, tend to maintain pretty strong ongoing relationships with the various resource providers and service providers in the community so we can navigate you to the best answer at the time when the need occurs. We are able to make those referrals based on the person's needs and what's available in the community. For example, many people contact us for help with placement for their loved ones, either within an assisted living community or nursing community. And we may know what's in proximity to you based on what your loved one's needs are, based on what the availability is at the time and the costs. We're able to put all that package together to give you recommendations that may meet your needs. Of course, we'll educate you on your options and we accept your choices. Many older adults are resistant to any form of care. I just met with someone last week who's very much that way, insistent on saying he's independent when he really is incredibly interdependent on the healthcare system. He has about 8 or 10 medical professionals on his team. He needs help keeping this clear. So, in this case, the aging life care professional or the care navigator can serve as your advocate, the person who ensures that the older adult is encouraged to be as independent as long as possible. Yes, we want to make sure that's the case while also mitigating health and safety risks. The gentleman with 10 medical providers, we have some safety risks there, very obvious ones. We can take time to understand the older adult's fears and concerns. I don't want to relinquish control in my life, not now or not ever. When that time comes, that may be a challenge for even me. But we help older adults to understand that requesting and accepting care is not so much a sign of disability, but as an opportunity to focus on the client's abilities. What can you still do? What are you still great at? What are you still best at? What works for you? And many times we are able to do that by helping connect you to resources and services and processes that may completely eliminate the need for even guardianship. Now, guardianship isn't the end all be all. I've already had my friend Paula Kelly talking with us about that. It's not the inevitable end for an older adult. But should someone you know and love wind up under guardianship for whatever reason, care managers, aging life care professionals, care navigators, we work closely with the attorneys to assist them to determine the proper level of care or the proper level of cognitive function, along with the medical world of what the older adult is experiencing. We have these various cognitive assessments, of course, and we can facilitate the collection of relevant and necessary medical information so that the guardian can make very informed choices and create good, strong plans. Many times, and this has been my experience, a guardian will hire us, a care navigator, a care manager, to be a healthcare advocate for their client. We kind of represent the guardian on behalf of the client in this case to feed information properly to the guardian so that she can make very informed and very appropriate healthcare decisions. I know for my many years in hospice care, it would have been wonderful if more guardians had been more informed about the healthcare options and choices for their clients and those under their charge. That would have been great for the client and for the hospice provider. Just for example, I ran into that a lot. Sometimes we run into family discord. I was just talking with my colleague Judy this morning how we're running into more and more blended families and families in estrangement from one another. It's really becoming very common. And sometimes this has been going on for decades, the blending and the estrangement. And honestly, this can be quite paralyzing to the estate planning and estate execution process in many cases. People like care navigators and care managers can provide an unbiased, very informed bit of information and position on what is best for the older adult. That's why many times estate attorneys will bring us into this planning process. Or I'm also very blessed that many estate planning attorneys have recommended our care navigation services to their clients to add us to the team so that when those healthcare changes come along, we're there to help navigate the clients through that. It's really very powerful, and it's a privilege. It's a real privilege to be invited into those conversations and to be a member of that team. Unfortunately, exploitation and fraud are becoming far too common. Far too common. It really gets my blood boiling for those who are exploiting and committing fraud against older adults. And it's become far too easy because of technology to have one's identity stolen. And older adults are very vulnerable to this. I've seen it far too often in my own practice, and I hear about it far too much in the community. Fortunately, we do have some knowledge about some strategies that you and your loved ones can use to mitigate or eliminate the risks as much as possible. We're able to be aware of warning signs that something's not quite right. We can share that with the family, or if the family is absent, or if the family's local, or sometimes it's the family member doing the exploitation. We can step in and be an advocate, or certainly an additional protective barrier to your older adults living alone and who are finding themselves more vulnerable. It just breaks my heart, y'all. It really does. Sometimes as a care manager, I've been able to identify when something's going awry with exploitation and put a stop to it. Wow. So if you know an estate planning attorney, or if you're considering contacting an estate planning attorney, perhaps that person might recommend bringing on an aging life care professional to the team. We can be a resource to a estate attorney, or we can certainly be a very valuable member to the care and the plan team, the estate planning team. And like I said, I've been very fortunate to have received referrals from the estate planning attorneys that I know and with whom I interface with here in Western North Carolina. Now, if you want to know where to find an estate planning professional, there are two locations. There's the National Association of Estate Planners and Councils. The National Association of Estate Planners and Councils. And that website is naepc.org. I'll type that in when I'm done to the comment box. naepc.org. And that's actually I'm a member of an estate planning council, so you'll find estate planning councils as professionals. But if you want to know how to find an estate planner who may or may not be an attorney, that's a good place to go. But if you want to contract with or engage the services of an estate planning attorney, you can go to the American Academy of Estate Planning Attorneys, the American Academy of Estate Planning Attorneys. And that website is aaepa.com. aaepa.com. Certainly, you can Google estate planning attorneys near me. Members of these associations certainly have special credentials, so that may help you in finding and locating an appropriate estate planning attorney or professional for you. So, having said that, I want you to join me next Monday, April the 14th. And my friend Justice Mullen, who's an estate planning attorney with a firm in Hendersonville, North Carolina, he's also on our planned giving committee. He will be talking to us about how to prep for a meeting with an estate planning attorney. It might be good to know what to bring and who to talk to and what information will be requested and how long will this process take, etc. So join me next Monday at noon for Ask a Care Navigator Mondays with Maureen. I'll have a special guest, Justice Mullen. He's an estate planning attorney, and he'll help you to get prepped for a meeting with an estate planning attorney. And I think that'll be a lot of fun, something to learn. If you have any questions or comments, please call us at 866-466-9734 or go to our website, which is fourseasonscare.org. There's a way to send an inquiry to ask more about this topic or any others, or how Four Seasons may be of service to you. It's a privilege to do so. I hope you have a fabulous Monday wherever you are. Take care.